So for the women that don't want those high value men, women that just want average guys, I guess my question would be, how come the average guys won't accept the fat girls? If we got to accept men under 5'9", under 6 feet, average earners, how come they won't consider the fat girl to wife her?
Because being fat isn't normal. Normal and average aren't the same thing.
But for like the black community, for like you
no. Listen to what I'm saying. Average and normal aren't the same thing. Look at it. Go back in your family album and look at your grandmother and great grandmother. Those women were average, normal women, and they were fit and thin. Google black women in the 50s and 40s. That's what you're supposed to look like. Just because in our community, because black women have allowed themselves to get fat, doesn't mean average men have to settle for it because it's now normal.
I understand what you're saying. I accept it. I guess my next question.
It's because it's not healthy. It's not preferable. And men are visual. Men, in order for the things to work right, men must be physically attracted. And take you aside. I look at women who, I could pull up pictures with thin men and women who no good God world should they have a bikini on, much less a two-piece. Okay, what's the next question?
Since men are so visual, are all of these men with six packs and they're completely fit?
It doesn't matter. See, what you're doing, man, is you're trying to make an equivalency. I'm accepting you as a normal, average earning man, and you're not in shape. And the problem is the men are not overweight to the extent the women are. White men, Asian men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern men who are average earners do not have to accept overweight and obese women as the norm. They get to pick from women who are physically fit because, you know why? Because the women in those races want to please their men. They don't feel like they are settling for an average man. They feel like an average man is worth having and worth being fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and submissive for. Our women feel like, well, if I'm going to get an average man, he should accept me as I am. Absolutely not. Because if you don't get a black man, you're not getting a white one, a Hispanic one, Asian, Middle Eastern, or other. They're not accepting large women as the norm. Do you believe that?
Yes.
So my question,
but I only date black men.
So my question is, how old are you again?
29.
My question is, why don't you just get fit?
When you're in that reproductive age, you have some women are faced with medical issues that make it difficult to lose weight.
Ma'am, due respect. That's not the norm. It's no different than thyroid or anything else. It's not the norm. It's diet and exercise and discipline.
Discipline.
So are you saying that the women you're talking about are incapable of living a fit lifestyle?
Not incapable.
Right, because all they have to do is look in their ancestral tree, look at their grandmothers and aunts, and that's their capability.
Can I make a comment to that about the women of the past?
Yeah, but you can also, but before you do that, also understand women of the past had husbands.
Right.
Go ahead.
Do you think a lot of those women weren't as large as we are today because they didn't have processed foods. They grew they had their own gardens. A lot of them grew their own vegetables.
Sure.
Like,
Sure. They had access to better foods. But the bottom line is men don't care. Men want the outcome. Just like women really don't care how you provide as long as it's secure and for the most part legal.
So are you saying there's no hope for anybody over a size 4?
I'm saying that you give yourself less hope by being unfit. And I don't understand why single, childless women would rather put themselves at a lower percentage chance of having success rather than living a healthy lifestyle. You're choosing to put yourself in a lower percentage outcome. Then you can't complain if you don't win.
Absolutely. I mean, this is all new information. I'm from Milwaukee, so we weren't taught these things.
You now that's where I bristle. Black men have been telling black women to lose weight my entire life. Black men have been asking black women to be nice and wear your own hair and be childless my entire life. And I'm from Oklahoma. So I know if it was in Oklahoma, it got to Wisconsin.
To be nice, yes. But I didn't have no brother.
I think you guys heard it, because I know I heard it as a boy. I think you guys just dismissed it because honestly, because somebody's willing to have sex with it. That's the common denominator. You talk to most overweight women and they will tell you somebody's hit it, and that is a particularly ridiculously low standard, because someone will have sex with you cannot be the standard. And at 29, a man would have to say, look, if I were to get with you right now and marry you, you're going to put on 30 to 50 pounds of baby weight. The chances of you losing that weight are slim to none. That means if we have 2 kids, 3 kids, every child is going to put that 30 to 50 pounds on you. That means after the 3 kids, you're going to be about 70 pounds larger, 40 to 70 pounds larger. It's easier just to be I would say this to black women: lose weight and prove me wrong. But see, what I'm saying, it comes too late for many of black women, because so many black women are too far gone. So it's like, well, damn, I got to do all that just to get a chance? Well,
I feel like I'm 29, like, I want to be married by 30. Like, so I feel like this information I wish I would have knew it years ago.
Okay. Was your mother and father married?
No.
Was your mother overweight?
No.
So.
Well, not to me. I don't think she's overweight. Like, she's never had a stomach. But.
How tall is she?
I don't know. She's taller than me. I don't know anything about her weight.
I mean, can you guys wear the same clothes?
Her clothes are smaller than mine.
All right. So your mother never talked to you about your weight?
No, the women in my family, like my late grandmother, she told me, accept the way God made you.
So they just fed you and let you go.
Yeah, when my stepdad, food is a love language.
Let's talk about this. Stepdad, he has to say that. So did you go to a black elementary or high school?
Yes.
So all the girls in there look like you?
No, but a lot of my friends would be like, oh, you're not really fat. You're not
right, but they all look like you. And black women will often tell each other that. Did you go to college?
Yes.
When you went to college, you saw how different you looked. Unless you went to HBCU, you went to a predominantly white institution.
Yes.
You saw non-black women your age were much thinner.
Yes.
And
But
that's
they also eat salads every day. Like we
that's
didn't
what you should be eating. Salad, ma'am. Stop. That's the problem right there. You just talked about it. The women, the older unmarried women, lie to the young women, and they just feed you. They feed you to keep you satiated and happy, so you're not causing them any problems. Because if you were a kid and they put salad and Brussels sprouts and vegetables, you'd complain, you'd fuss, and you would be more problem. And as a single mother with 3 kids, complaining about a balanced meal is too much stress for one woman. That's why you need a man in the household. So women are giving their kids PlayStations and cupcakes and chips and hot Funyuns. And then you go to school and other girls are getting the same thing you're getting from your mother. And women are telling you, God made you this way, God made you that way. You're looking at popular programming and all the black women look like you. In school, they look like you. There are no men around. A stepfather can't come in and say, oh my God, she's overweight, because he'll be run out of the house. But then when you leave the comfort of home and go to the real world, university, that's when you, for the first time, see Becky, Marisol, Mylene, Jamila, and you're like, holy shit. And you think something is wrong with them because they're getting up going to the gym before they go to class. You think something's wrong with them. Girl, they crazy. But then you look back after college graduation, in under 3 years, most of these women are married. They're not all married to lawyers and doctors. Men want women who are smaller than them.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, so discipline, because that's what it comes down to. Why aren't there men willing to put us under their discipline? If work out with me, I had an ex. I was like, when we met, I was smaller.
No. I'm going to answer that question. You're not my child. Just like you ain't willing to work, just like you're not willing to get with a guy who's making minimum wage and building him up, you don't want no build-a-boo. Men should not have to come into a woman that's a project. You should already be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, ready to go to help support
I can't hear
him.
you.
You should already be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, ready to go.
I can't hear you, Kevin.
Oh,
Okay, there you go.
I said you should already be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, ready to go. Black men should not and do not have to take on a project in a single black woman. That is a liability. No different than if you had to get with a man who's minimum wage and needed to go to college or need to get a trade. Right?
Right.
See, everything you're talking about is why shouldn't the men just work with us? Okay, I'm going to ask you a hardcore question. Ready?
Yes.
Why should black men who are not related to you sacrifice a damn thing for you?
Because we sacrifice so much in relationships for black men.
Such as?
I was in a relationship for 6 years. I gave everything.
Was he your husband?
We were engaged, so no. I was
okay, well, that's your fault. Okay, first of all, I call bullshit. You're talking about what you did in a 6-year relationship, and I said black men, not just you.
Okay.
When you meet somebody, what you're basically asking black men is to settle. Y'all don't call it that. Yes, that's what it is, man. Asking black men to settle, asking black men to accept black women in their unfit state is asking them to settle for what they don't want. And I ask you why. And really the answer is, you should do it because we're both black. Would you ask a non-black man to accept what you're asking black men to accept?
No, I'll never.
Why? I don't care whether you date him or not, man. Just stay focused on the logic of the argument. And I'm using my Thanos glove, Okay? I don't care, but I'm gonna use my reality stone. And in this reality, you're attracted to all colors of men equally. Would you ask a non-black man to make any of the exceptions that you're asking black men to make?
Kevin, I would, because I don't see it as a liability.
And that's the problem. We do. And until you ladies understand that it doesn't matter what you see or how you feel, it matters what we want. And if you're not willing to give the men that you want to marry you what they want, they are not going to accept you on your terms. You cannot go to the Mercedes dealership and demand that they accept that you can't afford their vehicle because you're a good driver. You can make the moral case all you want to. I'm a good driver and I make Mercedes look good and I take care of it. The car costs what it costs. And see, y'all are more willing to make this argument than to eat salads, fast, balanced diet, work out. You're 29.
Yeah, I'm already at 30. It's too late. Like, well, I am who I am.
All right. Well, buy a dog and die alone. That's why I said what I said. Either you do what you're going to have to do, or you're going to give men what they want, or you'll be alone.
And
we need more people telling people this so they don't get to the place you are. Because if somebody would have said this to you when you were 12 years old, instead of telling you what your grandmother and your mama and your stepdad told you, maybe, just maybe. So to my critics and detractors who think I'm so hard, I'm trying to help the next ones, because this is the outcome of telling women they can have everything and it don't matter. It does. And I refuse to believe that you cannot lose weight.
I mean, not a size 4, Kevin. That's a lot of weight.
How tall are you?
Like 5'3", 5'4".
How much do you weigh?
More than a man.
Okay, ma'am. What dress size are you?
18.
You do know at your frame and your skeletal frame size, a dress size 4 is the normal range.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. The female skeletal frame of a black woman is no more dense or larger than any other race of women. Your bone density may vary, but it's not enough to make a large difference on the out as far as the dress size. So, I'm sorry, but that's what men expect. So what are you trying to say? What's the smallest dress size that you can remember you ever been?
Maybe a 12.
And if you got down to a 12, I'm going to assume you would think that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Okay. And it would be. It would be coming from an 18. But you got to put yourself in the position of the man. Why?
Kevin, one more thing.
Why, if there are 2 million more black women than black men, and there are more females than males, why would a suitable, competent, available, heterosexual man who can pick women across the socioeconomic spectrum, not high value, just right here in the middle, why would he get a woman who's at 12 when there are plenty of women who are dress size 2, 4, and 6, who are just as nice as you are, just as friendly as you are? All the things you would say you bring to the table, you can find that in a package that's more suitable. You can only have one, right? You only have one legal wife, right?
Yes.
Then why would he not pick that? All things being equal.
And those are, he can find nice.
See, that's the problem, man. Yes, he can pick anything he wants at this point. See, that's the problem. You have to, if you're going to bring a weight liability, you have to overperform in other areas. And the thing is, that's the problem. What are you bringing that the men want to compensate for being a weight that they don't want? That's how the world works. So basically what I'm telling you is, you want to give yourself a best shot, you're going to have to do something you haven't done. Lose the weight. Just like a man. If a man wants a woman at a certain level or a certain kind of thing, the world tell him, you got to go out and become valuable. You got to go out and get a job. And see, we're comfortable telling men this. What you're ultimately been told is, God will figure it out, or somebody will accept you, or this or that. It doesn't sound, what it's almost sound to me as though you don't think this is fair.
I just think it's a pretty harsh deal breaker. I mean, men are not perfect, so women are not perfect. I mean.
Well, we got more time than y'all do. This is what happens. You take fathers out of the household. You get women who don't deal with reality. You're 29. You didn't grow up when there were beauty pageants on TV. We used to have beauty pageants on TV to where women could see what men wanted. We used to have swimsuit competitions and beauty pageants and all this other stuff. But in your generation, we gave 8th place trophies and social promotion. But it doesn't change who human beings are. And at the end of the day, I'm telling you, are you saying there's something that's medically preventing you from getting to a fit weight?
My metabolism is just dormant because of a medical issue. I can't hear you.
Well, I haven't said anything. I'm just saying that, I mean, if it's dormant, man, then you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I don't know what else to say, man. I mean, all is fair in love and war. And here's what's gonna be real harsh. Hold on. All women, hold on. This is gonna be harsh. I need you to hold on. Brace yourself. Because this is a reality that men know. Some people just lose. That's where the term spinster comes from. 30% of the men, 30 to 40% of the men on this planet will never have children. Not all men get to reproduce. And we have told women that you all can get it. No, you have to be what they want. So, it may not be what you wanted to hear, but it's the truth.